Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm so excited. I'll get to this here in a second. The reason I had to lob this out here is because every time I did it, it blew this piece of paper off of what I'm trying to hide for the moment because I want to reveal it. There was like 18 takes of me trying to get that card to slap. But anyways, what we have here is my old modified stitch, my Ramlock manual stitch, which I love. And this has aluminum gun stock scales from Original GOAT. Underneath this, we have some new scales. Some scales I've been waiting on for a very long time. I think many of us have been waiting for a very long time to be able to have the option to build this. This is a very epic day. I'm very, very excited. Thanks so much to Original GOAT for sending these scales in, allowing me to share all of this with everybody. I really appreciate it. This is going to be really, really fun. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I will link Original GOAT stuff, including what I'm about to reveal and swap these scales for. I'll link it all down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those things, but that's up to you. Original GOAT scales are made in the United States, and in my experience, they are some of the most perfectly machined, perfectly fitted scales that I have ever experienced. I highly recommend Original GOAT. I have probably 8 or 9 knives that are modified with Original GOAT scales, so very, very cool. What do we have here today? Well, first off, here's this, and the thing that you can scan if you're watching on TV. But what we have here, oh boy. Now I know at first glance it doesn't look like it's a lot different, but it is. Oh, they're so beautiful. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. It doesn't look, listen, I'm telling you, you can tell the difference between titanium and aluminum, not just in terms of the weight, but the way that titanium machines is so much cleaner, in my opinion, than aluminum. I am finally, after years and years of wishing and hoping and dreaming, building my ultimate manual stitch. Obviously, I own a full custom Borka stitch, but I'm not about to drag around a $6,000 pocket knife every single day, right? So the fact that we finally have a production manual stitch is epic, but Microtech does not make titanium or even aluminum scales for these things, not that I know of. They do carbon fiber, G10, and injection mold plastic. So Original GOAT stepped up and made some scales. And I have loved carrying this aluminum thing. It's this aluminum, this knife with the aluminum scales, it's been epic. I really, really love this thing. But I always thought it's not complete until it has titanium scales. So they told me, they said, are you sure you want the exact same texturing? And I said, absolutely. That's like my favorite texturing ever. Oh, it's nice and grippy. I love that. It's my favorite texturing ever. It looks the best. I love your gun stock texturing, but they do have other texturing. So we're going to do the hyperlapse thing. I'm going to take this apart, put it back together. Hopefully it's smooth. Oh, look how they tap this. Or not tap. What do they call it? It doesn't require that tab underneath anymore. It looks like it just threads directly into the titanium. Smart. But anyways, we're going to go ahead, hyperlapse this, take it apart, put it back together so that we can all together behold the ultimate stitch. So this really does feel like the final form of this knife. I know, everybody is probably saying like it's not that much different, but the look and the feel are absolutely different. The titanium adds a certain heft and solidity that is just not quite present with aluminum. I like these scales, and I will tell you between these two, my aluminum scale texturing is a little bit softer. The titanium scale texturing is a little bit rougher, which I think is totally fine given that, it's a parameter milling and the way that I grip it. And honestly, what I'm going to use this for, this is a user. It has been a user with the aluminum scales on it. It has not been a knife that I have shied away from. This locking system, again, I will vouch for the ram lock. I have never had this thing disengaged, not once. And as out of all three of the ram lock knives that I've had, none of them have disengaged. In fact, none of the screws have backed out. Everything has stayed perfectly fine. My edge has done fine. I have to imagine that I got a knife with, the M390 MK that was maybe a slightly better heat treat. I've heard that they've gotten their HRC range up, but this has not fatigued or anything like that. Not that it's been used insanely heavy, but it just feels like this is a form that the knife should come in from the factory. I gotta say, I will not be surprised if Microtech eventually releases a titanium version, like a factory Microtech version that is in titanium. Now, they're going to make us pay for it. I mean, that will be bare minimum a $650 knife. It wouldn't surprise me if it's $700 plus. So the cheaper way to do it is definitely going to be with original GOAT, depending on what they charge for these scales. Might be about that same amount. But these are insanely high quality, and if you told me that Microtech themselves made these scales, I would believe it. They fit perfectly. I forgot that the liner has to come with, the liner was stuck in one of the aluminum scales, which is why it seemed like I had a little bit of a hang up there. But I forgot that liner has to come out because the stop pin has a D-shaped head and it would not go in the scale. It's like, oh no, they didn't cut this one right, but it was not supposed to go into the scale. It's supposed to go into the liner, and then they screw together. So the construction on this is, every time I take apart the manual stitch, I realize how superior this build is, like how heavy duty this knife really is. It is absolutely ridiculous, and it is honestly overkill for the vast majority of people, but this is the type of knife that I can put in my pocket, and it's like that everything enthusiast knife to me. I love how these look. Not everybody loves the look of the Borka stitch. I love how this looks. It is the most, or at least one of the most ergonomically friendly knives in existence. The lock-in on this knife is insane. It feels so good. Pocket clip, that's probably something that I will replace at some point. It's not my favorite pocket clip, but it does work. And we do have that nice flat spot on there that's made specifically for that clip. So depending on what clip I find, this might have to stay. It might not look as good. But this is now everything that I ever wanted or ever dreamed that this knife would be. I've always wanted a titanium production stitch that I could carry around and use and just throw around. And given the fact that it's not a frame lock, it's a ram lock with a coil spring, I'm honestly even more confident in this thing. I really don't feel like I have to baby this knife. It's simply ready to go. What does this beast weigh now? Because believe me when I say this, it is a beast. This is a big knife. 7.5 ounces. I'm going to be breaking my own rule to carry this knife. But as I've said many times, I will break my own rules if the thing that I want to carry is cool enough. Nothing that I do day to day demands what the stitch brings to the table. I simply want to carry it because it is awesome. That's simply it. Do I think it's worth spending $300 on a stitch and an additional, these are probably $250 scales, maybe more, that additional amount to create this knife? Yes. If you like the idea of this and you are in that, if like the most recent purchase that you made it was a $50 pocket knife and you've never ventured past that point, oh my God. Don't jump. Climb the ladder at your own pace. If you're already here, if the $600, $700 territory is, you're familiar with that territory, and you're like, is it worth buying one and putting these scales on? Absolutely. Absolutely. This has put a gigantic smile on my face. You don't need titanium. Titanium doesn't make the knife better, but it does make it feel like the beast that it was always meant to be. Man, I'm so happy. Everything came together so well. This is truly epic. Now, I can finally be done building this thing. and put this this fantasy of having a full titanium stitch to rest. So, anyways, thanks so much to Original Goat. I will probably give away my aluminum scales on a live stream, which we'll just go ahead and put back in this bag. But I will make sure and send the little pocket clip tab. Actually, no, I don't need to do that because if you have the stitch, then you probably already have this. But we'll just keep it in there for now. But yeah, I'll probably give these away at some point to somebody who's got a. I mean, I know you guys are going to want to raise your hands in the comment section, but what I mean is during a live stream, and we'll do the same process where it's fair and everybody has an opportunity to get them. But I'll probably give those away since I no longer need them. Thank you again to Original Goat. Check out Original Goat, these scales, and so much more for not just Microtech knives, but so many knives. You have no idea. There's so much stuff there. I'll have them linked in the description. That's going to be it today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on the Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.